Hi everyone, I'm Miss Destiny from the Fayette County Public Library, here with another episode of our Crafty Corner, where we are going to be making a cute little winter rainbow beanie. So when you come into the library and get your craft kit, you're going to find a black piece of paper, a half sheet of white, some colored tissue paper, and then some different colored strips of paper. To save time today, I did cut most of mine up except one, just to give you an example on how to cut it to save a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and we will jump right into this craft. So I already have my different colored piles right here, but each of your strips are actually going to come whole like this. To save a little bit of time, what you can do is just cut it in half twice. So I'm just going to do that. Then I'm going to cut this in half like that. And you'll just lay them on top of each other and cut your little strips so that you have your colored pile. So careful because it can fly around. You don't want it to make a mess, but make tiny little strips. They don't need to be very big. They are going to just lay on top of each other when they are glued down, but you want them to be small enough that they can cover the area. Once that's all like that, just take it, make your pile, and we are going to take our white piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half. So you can kind of see the shape of my beanie. So this is actually going to be the outline for our beanie. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a very rounded looking half of a triangle. So it's going to go out like that. And then I'm going to have it come back in. So it's a triangle, but we don't want the edges to come to a very sharp point. We want it to be rounded. Take it, cut it out. When you open it up, it'll look like this. If you decide, oh, I want it to be, maybe a little bit more round, you can take a little bit off the edge right here, like that. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. But there you go. So what we are going to do is we are going to take that and glue it down. We're going to glue it down right in the center of our piece of paper. I'm going to use a glue stick for that. Just take my glue, get it all around the edges, a little bit in the middle, and I'm going to press it down. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of white glue and I'm going to start assembling my hat. So you just want to scribble this on your paper. You don't need a whole lot, just kind of scribble it along a little bit at a time. So I'm going to start with red at the top. So I'm just going to sprinkle my red pieces of paper and kind of tap them down as I go. So like I said, you don't want to have to use a whole lot of glue because this can get very messy if you do. And then you don't have to use all of each color. You just want to make sure that you're covering up the majority of that space so that it is laying flat and each piece is glued down and not like this one's loose piece. It's just sitting on top. So we can go ahead and remove that. Next, I'm going to take a little bit more glue and just scribble along. I'll take some orange. I'm going to lay that underneath the red. Just like that. And like tap it into place so that if any loose pieces are just hanging out, they can connect to some of that glue and be glued down. Like that. Take some yellow, and you can fill yours in a little bit more as you're going along. If you want to use more of your color, you can. Just sprinkle it along. And you can even, once you tap some of that down, if you have quite a bit that seems like a little bit loose, that's sitting on top of the pieces that are glued down, you can kind of shake it off to get it out of your way. And then we're going to do some green. Same thing if you have a lot of extra just hanging out, just sprinkle it off and tap down the loose pieces. Under the green, we're going to do blue. And we'll finish off with purple. And if it comes off your white just a little bit, that's okay. And tap it, tap it, tap it. I'm going to shake off my extras. And then for my sample, if you look, my pom-poms and my little fluffy bottom of my hat are white. But for the one that I'm making today, I'm changing it up. You might have a different color in your pack. I'm actually using purple. So before you start cutting or anything like that, just take it and we're going to just kind of crumple it up to give it a little bit of a texture. And then along the bottom, we're just going to take a piece of glue, go right across that bottom right there, below our last color. Take a little bit of glue, just scribble it on there. And then we are just going to lay it and kind of crumple it up as we go. So when it was flat and straight, it looked like we had too much paper, but in reality, we have just enough. Just press that flat onto that glue, just like that. Next, what we are going to do is I'm going to take, there's 3 other strips. We have 2 small strips. These are going to be our bottom pom-poms, and then 1 slightly larger strip, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to crumple it up as well. So you can kind of like let it open up on its own. Then we're going to take it on the top, just put a little bit of glue, and then I'm just going to press it down. If some of the edges kind of peel up, you just add a little bit more glue and just press it on. Just like that. Before I add these 2, I'm going to make my strings with some white paper, with a white crayon on the black paper, like this. So it looks like I have strings hanging down from my beanie. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Crumple it up, and then just press it into place. Take another piece, crumple it, and press it into place. And this piece is just curling up, so I'm just gonna take a dollop of glue, press it down. And just like that, I'm gonna have my little pom-poms down. Like I said, you can always add more of your color to fill in the blank spots if you like, if you have extra left over, if you have any little stragglers like that hanging out, so it's not on the black pieces, you can kind of press them over. But other than that, with this craft, we are done. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this craft, and I hope to see you guys again next week for another episode of our Crafty Corner. Have a great day.